अनेक जन्म संप्राप्त कर्म बंध विदाहिने आत्मज्ञान प्रदानेन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुरादिरनादिश्च गुरुः परमदैवतम् गुरोः परतरं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भवानी शंकरौ वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धा स्वान्तस्थमीश्वरम् सिद्धा स्वान्तस्थमीश्वरम्। सत्कर्म फलितं सुखमानन्दं सत्कर्म फलितं सुखमानन्दं संसार सौख्यं सकलैश्वर्यं आदरवन्दन गौरवख्यातिं मानसरञ्जन आरोग्यपुष्टिं सत्कर्म फलितं सुखमानन्दं आदरवन्दन गौरवख्यातिं मानसरंजन मानसरंजन आरोग्य पुष्टिम् आरोग्य पुष्टिम् सुरलोकवासं सुरलोकवासं परभोगभाग्यम् परभोगभाग्यम् सुरलोकवासं परभोगभाग्यम् परभोगभाग्यम् सत्कर्मफलितं सुखमानन्दम् सुखमानन्दम् सत्पुरुषदर्शन सत्पुरुषदर्शन सत्संगश्रवणम् सत्संगश्रवणम् सत्शास्त्रपठनम् सत्शास्त्रपठनम् विशेषज्ञानम् विशेषज्ञानम् अनुनित्यमननम् अनुनित्यमननम् अज्ञानखननम् अज्ञानखननम् अनुनित्यमननम् अनुनित्यमननम् अज्ञानखननम् अज्ञानखननम् अमृतपानम् अमृतपानम् ब्रह्मात्म ऐक्यम् ब्रह्मात्म ऐक्यम् अमृतपानम् अमृतपानम् ब्रह्मात्म ऐक्यम् ब्रह्मात्म ऐक्यम् सत्कर्मफलितं सत्कर्मफलितं सुखमानन्दम् 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 प्रणम्य शिरसा विष्णुम् त्रैलोक्याधिपतिं प्रभुम् नानाशास्त्रोद्धृतं वक्ष्ये राजनीतिसमुच्चयम् अधीत्येदं यथा शास्त्रम् नरो जानाति सत्तमः धर्मोपदेशविख्यातम् कार्याकार्यं शुभाशुभम् तदहं सम्प्रवक्ष्यामि लोकानां हितकाम्यया येन विज्ञानमात्रेण सर्वज्ञत्वं प्रपद्यते सर्वज्ञत्वं प्रपद्यते Hari Om. Karma is that which the man has initiated, carried forward, endorsed, omitted to do, or has done right through the ages up till now. So it is that which is initiated by the human being, carried forward by the human being, endorsed by the human being, omitted to do at times by the human being, or has done right, or has been done right by the human being, through the ages up till the present moment. That is what karma is all about, with reference to the individual as a human being. Now it is the time to harvest or of harvesting. So you and I, in the form of human beings, are reaping the fruits of what we have sown earlier, what we have sown in the past. Law of karma, if rightly understood and properly utilized, so two things are very important: right understanding and proper utilization. If it is rightly understood and properly utilized, it brings that which produces happiness, goodness, and freedom from pain. How beautiful it is. Law of karma produces, if properly understood and properly utilized, correctly understood and properly utilized, it brings that which produces happiness. We want happiness, goodness. Yesterday we have seen what is goodness, evidence of God's goodness. Remember what we discussed yesterday. So, and freedom from pain. By utilizing the law of karma properly, we can get into a state of freedom from pain. How beautiful it would be to know that by our own karma we can gain this status which is totally free from pain. So, law of karma is not the law of retribution or law of punishment. It is not like that. It is also said that law of karma is based on the causes that are inherent in the matter, inherent in the constitution of matter. The causes are inherent in the constitution of matter and interaction between the units. Units meaning it can be atoms at the smallest level, human beings, planets, solar systems. It can be anything. Units means from the macro to the micro. To put it in a simple manner, our great thinker said, the word karma comes from the dhatu kru, means to do. Karma means that which is done. Action. The prakriti or nature is of three qualities or properties. Sattva guna, Rajo guna and Tamo guna. Because of the Sattva guna aspect of the Prakriti, these organs of perception, Jnanendriyas and Antakarana, which is called as internal organ, which comprises of mind, intellect, memory and ego, 4-in-1 equipment, these come into existence. What come into existence? Because of this sattvic aspect in the Prakriti, Jnanendriyas, meaning sense organs of perception, and Antakarana, mind, intellect, memory and ego, equipment. Then because of the rajasic aspect in the Prakriti, the karmendriyas, the organs of action, and the pancha pranas, they come into existence. And because of the tamasic aspect in the Prakriti, Sthula Sarira, meaning gross body, and the Vishayas and the objects connected with the gross body and various other objects that are there, all of them come into existence. So, when the Jnanendriyas and Antakarana plus Karmendriyas and Panchapranas function in the field of gross body and other objects, then they are called as karmas. It is an easier way to understand what are karmas. By performing these karmas and by entertaining various attitudes and intentions, the human beings become eligible, or it becomes imminent that they have to undergo the effects of those karmas that are performed by them, or it becomes imminent for them to experience the results of those karmas entertained by them. That is why it is said that every human being is under the dominance of forces outside his own individual consciousness. He is under the dominance of forces outside his own individual consciousness, which sweep him and others into situations from which there is no escape. You and I at times find ourselves in such a situation, we are swept into such situations from which there is no escape. And that is because of the karmas that we have performed. Nevertheless, within certain limits, definitely we have the freedom to do the karma of our choice and thereby create our destiny. In spite of various other forces acting upon us externally from the external world, but in spite of that, still because of our choice and selection and sincere commitment with the right attitude and intention, we can still overcome all those external pressures and mold the external circumstance, situation and various other forces in such a way that they become convenient for us to achieve our goals or our ends. That means we have the freedom to shape our destiny in spite of whatever situations we are placed in because of the law of karma. When the will and the purpose of the ego, when the will and the purpose of the ego is realized by the human being, in the physical brain, meaning while living. So when the will and the purpose of the ego is realized by the human being while living, in the waking state of consciousness, then the esoteric philosophy says that the law of karma in the three worlds becomes neutralized, and this individual becomes realized or becomes fit for realization. But for that purpose, one has to understand clearly the purpose of the ego. That is what Vedanta Shastra also says. When the ego gets proper education of the Shastra with the help of the intellect, then ego itself will get into a state where it understands its false nature, false claim to be an independent entity, and then it will disappear itself, or dissolve itself into that which is reality. All this gives us some idea that we are free to do our actions if we exercise that freedom. In the given situation, there are certain forces that are acting upon us from within also, from without also. If we can, with proper commitment to the teachings that are given to us by the Shastra through the Satsanga, if we properly utilize this opportunity and employ our actions to a greater end and to serve a greater purpose, then we can definitely release ourselves from the binding forces, or in other words, the bondage in which we are in at present. Putting all this in a nutshell, the great Chanakya says, chapter number 6, sloka number 8 of Chanakya Neeti Darpanam, Swayam karma karotyatma, Swayam karma karotyatma, Swayam tat phalam ashnute, Swayam brahmati samsare, Swayam tasmat vimuchyate, Swayam karma karotyatma, Swayam tat phalam ashnute, Swayam brahmati samsare, Swayam tasmat vimuchyate, Swayam tasmat vimuchyate. Very beautifully it is said by the great Chanakya, Swayam karma karotyatma, Swayam tat phalam ashnute, Swayam karma karoti atma. Jiva himself. Here Atma means Jiva. One of the various meanings of the word Atma, Jiva, himself performs the good and the bad actions. Who performs the action? Jiva only. So Jiva himself performs the good and the bad action. Swayam karma karotyatma. Then what happens? Swayam tat phalam ashnute. Then he himself, ashnute, experiences the results of the good and the bad action. Swayam tat phalam ashnute. He performs the good and bad action, and he alone has to experience the results of good and bad action. It is not that he performs and directs these actions to somebody else, and somebody else undergoes the results. It cannot be so. Then Swayam Brahmati Samsare. In this world of change, in this world of coming and going, in this world of taking birth and leaving the body, Swayam Brahmati Samsare. He himself takes birth and then dies through many wombs, not one or two. Through many wombs, he takes birth and dies and thereby wanders in the world. What the Jiva is doing by performing the actions, he experiences the results of those actions. And how? By taking birth and then dying. And this is how he keeps wandering in this world. Swayam tasmat vimuchyate. And then he himself can get liberated from the cycle of coming and going through his own purushartha, or in other words, through his own self-effort. So, how important is the self-effort? Self-effort or purushartha is again nothing but a karma that is being done with the right understanding, with the right intention, right attitude in the present. Right understanding, right attitude, right intention. Attitude, intention, understanding. A-R-U. A-U. If that is clear and we exercise the freedom, then we come out of all the clutches of various other binding forces. If we do not, then we do not know, we will not be aware how we keep on increasing the binding forces all around us. Each karma will certainly fetch its result, and there is no escape from it, because it is said man is free, he is having freedom to perform karmas, he is free in the performance of karmas, in performing karmas. But after that, the individual experiences the good and bad results according to the system set forth by Paramatma, according to the system set forth by Bhagavan. And till the individual experiences those karma phalas, they do not leave the individual. They never leave the individual. People may think that nobody is watching, nobody is aware, nobody knows that I can do this karma. Good karma, definitely. Good result. If it is not such a good karma, then the result that suits that karma will fall into the account. And it will not leave us till we exhaust the experiencing of it. We exhaust it through the experience of it. There is no way that we can come out of it. That is why it is said, normally when we perform certain actions, even the people who are affected by those actions, whether good or bad, after some time they tend to forget that they have been served by these actions from these individuals. Even you do good action also, after some time, those individuals who got benefited by the good actions, they also tend to forget. And those people who got affected also, if they are of evolving type, they definitely forget. If they are not of evolving type, even for 100 years, they continue to remember and continue to suffer. That is a different issue altogether. But the thing is, even the people tend to forget the good that is done to them, the bad that is done to them, or whatever is done to them, because of occupation of mind in so many things. But the karmas as such, they never forget. Their memory is not weak, and they cannot be mismatched or mismanaged, misdirected or miscalculated. Exactly they will come and find the doer and then make the doer experience the results of those karmas. In the Prakriti Khandam of Brahma Vaivarta Puranam, Prakriti Khanda of Brahma Vaivarta Puranam, it is said, Nabhuntam Chiyate Karma Kalpakoti Satairapi Avasyameva Bhotavyam Krutam Karma Subhasubham Krutam Karma Subhasubham Nabhuntam Chiyate Karma Kalpakoti Satairapi Kalpakoti Satairapi Avasyameva Bhotavyam Krutam Karma Subhasubham Krutam Karma Subhasubham Krutam Karma Subhasubham. The actions done by the human being, the good and the bad actions done by the jiva, will not leave the jiva even for hundreds of crores of years, hundreds of crores of kalpas. They will not leave the jiva unless the jiva experiences the results of the karma. They will not leave. Kalpa koti satairapi. Nabhuntam Chiyate Karma. They will not leave the individual unless the individual experiences the results. They chase the individual even for crores of years. See how the law of karma is so perfectly designed and set into functioning by the Bhagavan. Crores of years, but still the karmas do not leave the individual unless the individual experiences the karmas by taking birth in various yonis. One has to take birth in various yonis in order to experience the karmas. So please remember this beautiful saying from the Brahma Vaivarta Puranam, which is in support of what Chanakya has already said. Unless the jiva experiences these karmas, they don't leave the individual. We ourselves forget the karmas done by us after a certain period of time. But the law of karma, which is functioning in this universe, is so perfect that it will definitely send those results to the respective individuals even after Shatakoti Kalpa. Samaveda also says, Esha Devo Amartyaha Parnaviriva Diyate Abhidronanya Sadam. Atma plays many games. It is imperishable and it is indestructible. Samaveda continues to say, the Atma has the motion like the bird with wings. Paranadi river Vijate. It has the motion like the bird with wing. It is only to tell how the Jivatma goes from body to body, how it moves, how it functions. It leaves one body and it enters another body. And Samaveda continues to say, only by Purushartha, only by this self-effort can this individual free himself from the karmic bondage. How to attain freedom from karmic bondage? We do not know about the karmas that we have done. But if we take up the right action now, with the right attitude and intention, then that will certainly help us. One thing is assured, that where it leads us from here onwards is clear and sure. What is going to come to us, arise in our life that follows, and lives that follow, is very clear. The direction is clear. If we make the choice, the freedom to make the choice in the present is given to the individual by the Bhagavan. To choose, we need great wisdom, understanding, of course, knowledge. The wisdom and understanding is born through the knowledge, out of the knowledge. And that is the result of satsanga only. So then only we can choose. The freedom to choose is there, but you have to exercise that freedom. What to think, what not to think, what to say, what not to say, what to do and what not to do. Shubha or Shubha? Always this choice is there. And we exercise it, then definitely we will come out. We have led ourselves into this network, and we can only lead ourselves out of this network. Lot of emphasis is laid upon the action that is done in the present. Even Gurudev used to give maximum importance to this. Just select that action, which is Shastra Vihitam, permitted by the Shastram. Do not take up that karma which is not permitted by the Shastra. Shastra Pratishita karma should not be taken up. We need not worry about what situations we will meet now, because anyway it is not in our hands. But how that situation can be utilized to evolve into higher levels, to come out of the clutches of compulsive reactions, to choose our responses in spite of the pressures acting upon us. All that is available to us as our choice. And when we exercise it, then we will come to derive the benefits of the karma that is being taken up in the present. Those situations which we are meeting now are ordered by our past actions. They are like the arrows that are released from the bow. They have to hit the target. Now nothing can be done about them. But the entire choice of our response and keeping our state of mind in a perfect balance, all that is blessed by God as our own freedom of choice. We have to exercise, we have to choose. There was one person who consulted an astrologer. That astrologer, after reading his chart, said, "You will rise high up and then come low down. There are ups and then downs in your career. Such ups that you rise high up, go to such a height, and then afterwards come down to the lowest level. Rising up and falling steep down into the lower levels. That is the prediction. So this man said, okay, that's fine. Sometimes good, sometimes not good. Everybody's life is like that. So after 4 years, again both of them met. There was no planning, but without any plan they met. They came across each other. Then Chanakya asked, what happened to my prediction? Are you experiencing it? Did you find it to be true? And this man said, yes! I am every day facing ups and downs, rising high up and coming low down. I became a lift man. That is a 50-story building. Every day, rise up, come down. I never thought that your prediction will lead me into such a situation. Why I go up every day, so many times go up and come down. It was his own choice. Of course, supported by, assisted by various other forces acting upon his choices at that particular time. So, whether it is going up or coming down, he only pushes the button, goes up, and then he only pushes the button and comes down. Swayam karma karatyatma swayam tatpalamashte. So, all this was put in a nutshell by Chanakya. It is his own choice. Nobody has any say there. But only thing is, we have to see whether what we are doing is right or wrong. Once a father asked his son, how are you doing in your school? Generally parents ask, how are you doing in your school? The son said, don't ask such silly questions. Do I ever ask him, how are you doing in your office? There is no need for the son to ask, but he claims in his own way. Don't ask such silly questions. But when elders ask, how are you doing in your school? It is only to find out whether everything is proper or not. Everything is okay or not. It is going towards the progress or not. Similarly, when the Shastras ask us to make an inquiry into ourselves, whether what we are doing is right or wrong. How are we doing? Whatever we are doing, how are we doing it? When we gain this angle of observation from the Shastra, we will definitely keep a watch on what we do and certainly come out. So we have to clearly understand what Shastra tells us. There was one person in USA who was painting his own house. Here you may find people to paint houses, but there most of them paint their own houses. Because otherwise you employ somebody, hundreds of dollars they have to give. So they only paint. They become painters, scavengers, everything. They have to exhaust their karmas like that. So he was painting his own house, but that was hot summer there, and he was wearing two tough coats, very tough, thick coats, two jackets he was wearing, and then painting, two coats and then painting. In that summer, that also outside, and he painting outside, and then two coats and then painting. What is this? So the neighbor asked him, why you are wearing two coats and then painting? He said, See, the reading on the paint can. The paint can says, put on 2 coats for better durability and shine. Put on 2 coats for better durability and shine. Not that you should put on 2 coats. The paint has to be of 2 coats. Coat 1, cover everything in the surface, and then coat 2. But he understood in his own way. Put on 2 coats for better shine and durability. The law of karma, as explained by the Shastra, has to be understood, and the freedom of choice also has to be understood clearly and exercised properly so that we gain the benefit of it. We have to move forward. We have to go ahead. One driver who was asked to get the car to the office by his boss, he covered half the distance. He traveled half of the distance towards the office, and suddenly he found that the petrol has leaked out. So he called the boss and said, the petrol leaked out and there is some problem in the engine. The car cannot move forward. Then the boss said, take it backward. Take it back home. The driver had to explain to him. You can't move forward means you cannot move anywhere. You can't move forward, take it backward. What is this? If I can take it backward half the distance, I can come forward only. So while performing actions, there will be certain actions which will make us get stuck up there only, revolving round and round, doing the same thing, repeating the same habit again and again. We will be caught in the whirlpool there only. So, by using the direction that is given by the Shastra and the intelligence that is bestowed upon us by the Shastra, we should be able to select the right actions and then come out of such block holes and also come out of various other binding forces. We have to undo all that what we have done by purifying our mind, by sanctifying our intentions, and thereby performing righteous, meritorious, pious actions. How a karma recognizes the individual? Chanakya takes the help of an example and tries to explain to us. 14th sloka, 13th chapter, Chanakya Neeti Darpana. Yadhadhenu sahasreshu vatso gacchati mataram tadayaccha krutam karma kartaram anugacchati kartaram anugacchati yadhadhenu sahasreshu vatso gacchati mataram vatso gacchati mataram tadayaccha krutam karma tadayaccha krutam karma kartaram anugacchati kartaram anugacchati yadha धेनु सहस्रेषु वत्सो गच्छति मातरम. Just as the calf recognizes and reaches the mother cow, even when the mother cow is in the midst of 1,000 cows. Just because there are 1,000 cows, this calf does not go to another cow and consider it as the mother. It goes and reaches the correct mother cow, in spite of the mother cow being in thousands of cows, in the midst of thousands of cows. Similarly, Tatha Yat Cha Krutam Karma, the karma that is done or performed, similarly the karma which is performed by the doer, Kartaram Anugacchati, it will come and exactly meet the correct doer. And that means the doer alone is made to experience the result of the actions performed by the individual. It will not go to anybody. It will come only to the person. Kartaram Anugacchati. So what type of karma should be done? That is again choice, individual choice. One has to be very clear. One husband was telling the wife, I feel very bad. What happened? I feel very bad that I have taken dowry when I married you. In my marriage with you, I have taken dowry. I knew that it was very tough for your father to arrange for that, but still, my father insisted it, so I could not do anything. So I had. This is after a few years of marriage he is talking now. After a few years. Now, I repent for that. Now, I repent for that. And I want to do some prayaschitta for it. And I want to do some penance for it. I want to do some penance. From prayaschitta. The wife said, what and how? What and how? He said, by marrying again without taking dowry. What comes out is only Subhava. He says he wants to do prayaschitta and is attempting to do another karma. But then he justifies saying that I want to marry again without taking dowry. Freedom that is given to choose the karma, the attitude and intention, should be exercised in such a way that we come out of the clutches of the previous karma and then march ahead. That is why the choice of good actions and bad actions is always with us. Meaning, the attitude with which we do karma is always with us. Anushasana Paramam from the Mahabharata has this sloka very clear. It clearly tells. Even while chanting, you can understand it very clearly. Shubhena karmana saukhyam. Shubhena karmana saukhyam. Dukkham papena karmana. Dukkham papena karmana. Krutam phalati sarvatra. Krutam phalati sarvatra. Na krutam bhujyate kvachit. Na krutam bhujyate kvachit. Subhena karmana saukhyam dukkham papena karmana. Subhena karmana saukhyam the result of good karma is happiness. Dukkham papena karmana. And the result of bad karma is misery. Clear accounts. If we are experiencing happiness, that is possible because of exercising our choice to meet the situation, which is a very intellectual choice, a very independent choice, born out of lot of sadhana, or because of some greater karma. That is how it has molded the surrounding circumstances, various other things around us, which surround us, in such a way that we experience the happiness. Similarly, when we are experiencing the dukkha, misery, it is certainly because we have not exercised that freedom to choose our response and thereby direct the state of our experience under a given circumstance, set of circumstances, and by all because of the impact of the previous bad karma. Sometimes it appears as if the people have not done anything now. In this life, they are doing something very good, but still why they have some troubles. So here, Mahabharata says, Krutam phalati sarvatra na krutam bhujyate vachit. Karma phala does not arise without doing the related karma. Please understand, the related karma must have been done. That is why this situation is now arising for that particular individual. At present, the past might not be there. Present, the choice is there. How to meet inside. Whether the individual exercises it or not, that is left to the wisdom of the individual. The purity levels of the mind and intellect of the individual. If there is purity, that will make the person choose the right attitude and win over the present situation by choosing what he has to experience, what she has to experience, in spite of the situation or the circumstance or the condition around. One does not experience something which an individual has not performed. That is one way of understanding. Another way of looking at it is to give a benefit of doubt. If an individual feels that something wrong has been done, two ways it can be understood. Either one is exhausting karma, or one is given a situation to learn to rise above the experiences and also think that no individual can escape the karma that one has done. So, the individual who is performing such an act towards me will definitely undergo that. Law of karma only will take care. So, let law of karma take care. That is a spiritual way of looking at it. Of course, in the normal way in which a human being lives, one has to take the support of existing rules and regulations, codes of conduct, code of law, so on and so forth. But from a higher angle, one need not react, one need not lose the balance and get into more suffering and commit more wrong actions as a retaliation to some negative karma expressed by some individual or as a result of some situation that is experienced by the individual. Some people, because of certain experiences, they feel that they have to take a revenge upon the society. Nobody has done anything to them. They are constantly facing some negative situations, some miserable situations, some losses, some dashing of hopes, some disappointments. So there is some outburst of reaction. So they think they have to direct it towards the society, towards the nation, towards the people, towards something else. Because of lack of proper understanding. They want to give a vent to their feelings. But actually they are going down more in the level of evolution, going down in the involution. So it is for that reason it is said, if you think that you are exhausting the karma, well and good. If you think that it is unjust that you are being met with such situations because of somebody, think that the law of karma will take care of that person, and at least now you have a freedom of choice not to suffer those situations or come out of suffering as fast as possible, as quick as possible. It is to give us this understanding that Mahabharata puts forth the effort of telling us how we have to look at the karmas and how we have to choose good karmas and avoid bad karmas. Mahabharata continues to say something very nice. If the individual has set the karma into motion, wherever he is, whatever he might be doing, that karma will follow him. If he is sitting, it will sit with him. If he stands, it will stand with him. If he walks, it will walk with him. If he rests, it will rest with him. If he runs, it will run with him. But it will not leave him. Shanti Parvam of Mahabharata says, Sushigramati Dhavantam Vidhanamanudhavati Sede Saha Sayanena Yena Yena Yadhakrutam Uttisthati Tishtantam Gachantam Anugacchati Karoti Kurvatah Karma Chayevanu Vidhiyate Sushigramati Dhavantam Vidhanamanudhavati Sede Sahasayanena Yena Yena Yadhakrutam Uttisthati Tishtantam Gachantam Anugacchati Karoti Kurvatah Karma Chayevanu Vidhiyate. Whatever karma, Karoti Kurvatah Karma Chayeva Anuvidhiyate. Whatever karma the human being does, the result of such karma will always follow the individual. The impression of that karma will follow the individual like the shadow. The karma will definitely follow. The impression of the karma also will follow. It will create more tendencies, which will further create more pressures in the individual's mind to perform actions of similar nature. By setting forth one karma into motion, the individual sets forth the impressions, and then by repeating the impressions in the mind sets forth the tendencies into motion, and then by tendencies set forth some pressures into motion, which set forth thoughts in the mind of the individual to repeat the karmas again and again. A cycle and a chain. Sushigramati dhavantam vidhanamanudhavati. It will always follow the individual. If the doer runs at great speed, if he runs, gets training from the Olympic runners, and then wants to run away with great speed from the karmas, they will also run at great speed. You cannot run away from them. They will also run at great speed. Karma also runs along with him at that same speed. Sede sahasayanena yena yena yadakrutam. If the doer sleeps, these karmas also sleep with him. Karma also sleeps with him. If he is sleeping, meaning when the individual is sleeping, the individual is not experiencing the impact of the karma. Definitely, no reaction is experienced, no experience at all is available except the notion of I don't know, except avidya vritti, there is nothing that is there in the deep sleep state of the individual. So, just because there is no experience of the impact of the karma, which is good and bad, no results are experienced, that doesn't mean it has left the individual. Don't think if you are sleeping and there is no experience and that because of that the karmas have left there. No. You sleep. As long as you sleep, they will also sleep. The moment you wake up, they will become. So, somebody asked Gurudev once, Swamiji, what should we do if we don't want those karmas to wake up? Gurudev said that don't wake up. We have to do something. That is why here where there is no doing and no experiencing except the state of ignorance and I don't know. But even then the karma follows. Meaning karma follows in deep sleep state also. You cannot come out of the impact of the karma. That is why in the waking state, where there is beautiful opportunity for us, we have to do something to get out of these karmas, karmic bondage. Once a husband received a letter, husband was working in another place, received a letter from his wife. He opened the letter, it was a blank letter. Nothing was written. His friend, colleague, who noticed it, asked his husband, what is this letter? Nothing is written inside. This husband said, oh Lord, we are not in talking terms. We are not in talking terms. We are not talking to each other. That's why she wrote like that. What a nice way it is. Not in talking terms, but still to remind the husband that not to forget. Wrote a letter, said something, but said nothing. Letter is written, nothing is written. That choice also we have when we meet the situations. When the situation meets us, if our response is like this, we are responding but without anything written, no reaction is written. How beautiful it is. No reaction is written in our mind at that time. Slate is clean. We exhausted that karma and no more further creation of similar chain of karmas. Beautiful way to come out of it. A very nice way. We can be out of it. Once a person came across a notorious colleague, a nasty colleague. A colleague in office is a nasty fellow, always trying to trouble him by remarks, by statements, something and all he will say. So, in order to avoid that fellow, this person said, I don't talk to fools. So, to avoid that fellow, I don't talk to fools. But that nasty colleague replied, but I do talk to them. How are you? Let us not become fools, thinking that we are wise in reacting to the situations that are presented to us by the karmas, karmic force. We have to become very intelligent in order to choose the way of our response in the present as far as the karmas are concerned. Uttishthati tishtantam gachantam anugacchati. When the individual gets up from the sleep, the karma also gets up. When he starts walking, the karma also walks with him. In addition to this, even after performance of the karma is over, still the lingering effect of impression continues to follow the individual like the shadow. He does nothing to make the shadow follow him. Similarly, he does only karma. Afterwards, that impression is automatically formed and it follows the individual like shadow. Now, what is the shadow? And then if you repeatedly look at it, the shadow becomes, the shadow-like impression becomes more stronger tendency. Vasana, samskara has become vasana. When we repeat it through experience, more tougher, stronger, impulsive, maddening, craving desire. And then it becomes a habit that we cannot get over. That is the reason why it is said we have to choose our karmas always. It is entirely and purely our own choice. The doctor told to this patient who was a small boy, take this tonic syrup and you have to take 4 spoons per day. The boy said, but doctor, we have only 2 spoons in our house. It doesn't mean he needs 4 spoons. He needs to utilize those 2 spoons, 1 spoon to take 4 times. That's all he has to understand. We need not try to complain, saying that I don't have great intelligence, I don't have great capacity, I don't have great wisdom, I don't have great power and strength to make the situation. We need not have. Whatever wisdom is there in the intellect right now, whatever strength is there in the mind right now, whatever knowledge is there in us right now, that is sufficient enough to meet the situation. You have to exercise that knowledge. We can put forth effort to gain more, but whatever is there in front of us, that is enough. And now, Chanakya says about the results of bad karmas. Selective results of bad karmas. Not doing a punya karma also will cause certain bad actions to become more stronger and gain more thickness and thereby force the individual to commit more bad karma. Second sloka of 14th chapter, Chanakya Neeti. Atma parada vrikshasya phalanyetani dehinam दारिद्र्य रोग दुःखानि बंधन व्यसनानि च आत्मापराध वृक्षस्य फलान्येतानि देहिनाम् दारिद्र्य रोग दुःखानि बंधन व्यसनानि च बंधन व्यसनानि च आत्मा अपराध वृक्षस्य फलानि एतानि देहिनाम्. These are the results of the tree of Atma Parada, of one's own sins. These are the fruits of the tree of one's own sins. Atma Aparada Vrikshasya Phalani Etani Dehinam. When we are in the body, we have experienced these results because of our own wrongdoings. What are these results of bad karmas? Daridriya, poverty, roga, disease. At the moment of performing the bad karma with a negative intention, there itself the vibrations are set into motion in the deepest layers of the body also and the level of cells. There itself there is disharmony that is created, which will become more and more powerful later on because of more additions or involvements into such karmas. So poverty, roga, disease, daridrya, poverty, roga, disease. Dukkhani, misery. Miseries, you also face. And bandhana, bondage. We feel stuck up. We get into bondage. Vyasanani. One of the meaning of vyasanani is certain habits. We get stuck up with certain habits, negative habits. Vyasanas, we need not elaborate. Don't go deeper into the bad habits. We get stuck up. So severely, people get into bondage. In spite of caution, in spite of warning from the doctors also that this physical health will be spoiled and you will collapse and die, become incapable. Still they are not capable of coming out of the clutches of those vyasanas. Bad actions. Another meaning, bandhana vyasanani, also means apada. Apada means misfortune. Apada means calamity. Apada means danger. Apada means adversity. Misfortune, calamity, danger, adversity. These are also individuals' experience. Misfortune, calamity, dangers, adversity. All these are because of the result of doing wrong actions or bad actions. In the spiritual field, various textbooks are taken for study. In one of those, Sangadhara Paddhati, it is said, Vyadhir Vinashaha Priya Viraho Durbhagatvam Udvegaha Sarvadha Ashabhangaha Sputam Bhavati Shakrita Punyasya. So, in the Sangadhara Paddhati it is said, when the duty that is supposed to be done is not done, the opportunity to utilize the performance of punya is not taken. Naturally, individual has to do something. So when these two things are not taken up, what will happen? Individual will be led into natural tendencies and connected actions. So some other type of actions will be done. Because of that, what are the results that are going to happen to the individual? Vyadhi, disease. Vittanashaha, loss of money. That day when this fellow invests, that day only the bank disappears. The share market comes down. Or something happens. What can the individual do? That day only happens. One beggar was begging outside a temple. So this beggar, seeing that nobody is really interested in giving some money payment or that as much as he wants. So he offered a prayer to God, to the idol inside the temple. God, make somebody give me 10 rupees. I will give you 5 rupees. I will place 5 rupees in that donation box, inside the temple. Oh God, make somebody give me 10 rupees. I will place 5 rupees in the donation box. No sooner he completed the prayer, immediately somebody came and gave a donation of 5 rupees, not 10, what he had, but 5 rupees. Then he looked at the God inside the temple and said, God, you have already deducted your share. Instead of placing 2 rupees 50 NP, he tells God very intelligently, you already deducted your share. Like some people, they cut the interest and then they give the loan. Some people are like that. Just cut it. Even in that state also, when the prayer was answered, but she still calculates. The mind of the individual, because of the pressures of various other notions that are there, impurities that are there, and the level of consciousness that is there, it will not allow the individual to utilize the opportunity also. So, vittanashaha, and then priya viraho, separation from the dearest and the nearest and the choicest and the closest and the best. Priya viraha, the individual will become priya viraha. Most dearest, some confusion, some misunderstanding, some disturbance, something will happen there separate. Very difficult, very tough, impossible to face the situation. Cannot suffering, pains of separation, pangs of separation. Why does it happen? Why? Very clearly said. Because you have not utilized the opportunity to do the right action, and thereby allow your natural tendencies to go into these normal directions. And what happens? Result of that action is there. Then, Durbhagatvam, ugliness of appearance. Ugly appearance, ugly looks. This Krishna Paramatma also tells in Bhagavatam, and here also it is said. Ugly looks. That is the result of doing bad actions. I have already seen certain slokas from Chanakya. When you do all good things, entertain good notions, good attitude, naturally everything is so beautiful inside the mind that will make the face also beautiful. Whatever it is. Ugly looks, ugly appearance, ugly form. Udvega, anxiety and agitation in the mind. Trembling, shaking, shivering, anxiety, agitation. Fear, anxiety, fear, trembling, agitation in the mind. It becomes a natural companion sometimes. Sometimes it is a guest. Nothing happening around, still some agitation, some anxiety, some tension, some fear. Even when somebody else also goes on inside, result of bad karmas. Don't think bad karmas, nothing. Causeless tension, ceaseless agitation. This will happen. And we are experiencing such things. Small incident, unbearable agitation and tension. The nature is like that. Why? Because of the various karmas, the results of the karmas. Then, sarvatra asha bhanga. Failures and failures everywhere. Wherever the person goes, failures only will be there. Things to meet. Disappointment in all actions. Sputam bhavani akrita punyas. All these things certainly happen for those people who commit the bad karmas and do not utilize the opportunity of performing the good karma. In Bhoja Prabandham, another beautiful text that is connected with various things. Bhoja Prabandha. It is said, very tough, but it is said that not to blame the individuals who are undergoing those bad karmas, but utilize the opportunity for us to understand, to do some service, at least a prayer that is directed towards them, to lift them out of the suffering which they are in. Even a simple prayer, when you look at people who are suffering so badly in life, you sincerely pray to God, God, please bring them out of those suffering. Please show them some remedy, give them some cure, provide some cure and relief to them. May they come out of those bad states of suffering and misery. That prayer also will help to some extent to give some relief to them. Whatever little sincerity is there in our mind and heart, that much will add into their account and that much will help them. May not be sufficient enough to bring them out because the intensity of bad karmas is so severe. Here it is said, Yadyangaha Kushta Nischandaha Pangavascha Daridrinaha Purvoparjita Papasya Paramashtanti Dehinaha. All these people are experiencing in their bodies these results of their bad karmas. Purva Uparjita Papasya. The Papa karmas earned. The Papa earned by themselves in the past. Purva Uparjita Papasya. What is that? Yadyangaha, physically handicapped. People without limbs, deformed limbs, incapacitated limbs or organs, various ways in the body, physically handicapped. Kushtinaha, lepers. Cha Andaha, blind. Pangavasya, who are poor, who are having various kinds of ill-formed things. Daridrinaha, poverty stricken. So, Pangavasya also means not having proper limbs. So, Daridrinaha, poverty stricken ones. So, all these people we did not repeat. But these people who are in those bodies, suffering those things, are also the results of bad karma. So what you and I are supposed to do at that time? At least send a prayer, do whatever is good if possible, or at least send a prayer. Or something do something in order to release or relieve those people to whatever extent it is. So it is for that purpose and not to go there and then tell them and quote them from Bhoja Prabandha. Not that. That is not for that reason. That is again a bad karma. Going and causing more suffering to the person who is already suffering. Only to provide a relief so that we understand how intense the bad karmas can be in giving severe they can be in giving the results. So, in Smriti Ratnakaram, what is said has to be followed. Purva janma kritam papam vyadhirupena badhate tachanti aushadai tanaihi japaho marchanadihi. Whatever papa we have done in our previous births or previous states of existence, the result of the sinful deeds done in the past are troubling in the form of vyadhirupena badhate. They are troubling us in the form of various kinds of diseases, inconveniences, and various other things what we have already seen. So, in order to lessen the impact of them, in order to overcome them, remove them to whatever level they can be removed, what we have to do? Tat shantihi aushadaihi, take the medicine. Danaihi, perform charity of various ways, not only money. Japa, do some japa, take up some name and contemplate upon it, continuously repeat that name mentally. Japa. Homa, perform some homa. Archana, do some archana to God. Adivihi means puja, etc., etc. Service, etc., etc. All those things can be done. So that is a beautiful relief that is said, whether it is puja or archana or homa or japa or various other things that are suggested here as service. Self-service by taking medicine, serving others in whichever way possible. So if that is taken up as sincerely as possible, then what happens is we can come out of the severe impact of the present bad karmas, and at the same time we can go beyond this compulsiveness that is there in the mind, which is manifesting in the form of tendencies, which is fueled by various other impressions that are there inside. All of them can be overcome by selecting a good karma. All these are punya karmas which can reduce the impact of the bad karmas. And when we perform more and more satkarmas and punya karmas, we will definitely get into a state where we will be attaining higher level. That's what we have done our Namasmarana today. Satkarma palitam sukhamanandam samsara saukyam sakalaishwaryam Adarvandana Gauravakyavi Manasaranjana Arokya Pushti. That's all that follows. Meaning the Satkarma has the capacity not only to keep us well, but give us all good situations, provide us with all good experiences, but also gives us the opportunity of Sat Purusha, meeting Sat Purusha, attending Sat Sangha, performing Sat Sadhana, understanding Sat Shastra, and attaining to highest level of self-realization. So let us take the help of Satkarmas and then do good actions and thereby avoid bad actions. One important thing is tomorrow the talk will be on the topic Lab 2020. We have been seeing IPL 2020, World Cup 2020 and all that. Probably Chanakya 300-400 to 600 years approximately before BC, whatever it is BC. At that time probably thought about 2020. We do not know. So he also gave entire essence of winning in life in a nutshell in his Chanakya Neeti Darpanam. That is 20 lessons to be learned, 20 values to be followed, 20 points to be practiced. 2020. So it is a laboratory. Tomorrow we will elaborate what is lab and what is this 2020. So this 2020 is for everyone. So you can tell all those people who did not attend all these days also can come for one day tomorrow because it is 2020. 7 days, 5-day test match, 7 days they did not attend and play. 2020. Just in 90 minutes, 2020 days. So please tell, pass on the message for youngsters also. It is directly related to them only. Simple. It will be. They need not to fight it with bad karma, good karma, dharma, satya and all that. What we have seen for the past days in a very diluted format. Chanakya himself has diluted it. All beautiful pointers. So please tell them that tomorrow there will be talk on Lab 2020. Of course, in continuation, it is a part of this discourse I am bringing all the way. And however you take it, depending upon your reaction or response, talks will be extended. They will not be concluded on Sunday, but they will be extended because something more is there to be covered for a couple of days. Okay? सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः
सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ